A TikTok star has the worst first pitch literally ever.
Was his act real, or did he really lose his balance on the bump?
If he didn't do this on purpose, this is the worst first pitch of all time.
The Cleveland Guardians invited me to throw a ceremonial first pitch before a game, a lifelong dream of mine ever since I was a young boat. But here's the catch, instead of trying to throw a strike, I'm going to throw the worst first pitch in MLB history, and let me explain why. The ceremonial first pitch has been a tradition in baseball for a very long time, dating back to 1910 when President William Howard Taft threw the very first one. So it's a big honor if you're selected to do it. It's also a great way in modern time to become an internet meme. Earlier this year, Travis Kelce's pitch was so bad the Kansas City Chiefs put a clause in his contract to never throw a baseball again. 50 Cent once threw a first pitch so far to the left it had Beyonce singing the lyrics to her hit song Irreplaceable. Pitches like these are timeless pieces of content that have garnered millions and millions of views, which, as an internet clout chaser, is very important to me. This is probably the only chance I'll ever have of throwing a first pitch at an MLB game, and there's two ways I can go about doing this. First, I can throw a decent pitch which no one will ever remember. Or two, I can throw a pitch so horrendous that no one will ever forget it. To make my worst pitch look real, I went to practice a routine the day before. But in order to sell it, I first have to pretend that I'm trying to throw a strike. So I met up with Sean and Mark from Baldwin Wallace University's baseball team who just finished an incredible Division III Final Four run.
After this, gonna go to another field and work on a routine to just make it terrible.
By posting a video of them giving me pitching lessons, everyone will believe that I'm going to throw a successful strike at the Guardians game. When in reality, this was just a ploy to make my worst first pitch look even worse.
They bought it.
Now it's time to put the actual work in. I'm going to make this bad, but it has to be believable. If it looks like I'm trying to throw a bad pitch, it could ruin my reputation, which is barely existent to begin with. It's gotta be effortless, like Antonio Brown whenever he tries to self-sabotage his career.
I think like this, and then I have to fall and just go like that. I need to clean it up before tomorrow.
After countless and countless attempts, it was no use. I was just too talented to be good at failing. But after reviewing the footage, I finally found a first pitch that was so bad, I feel like I could do it the next day.
How's that?
I think that one would have hit a bystander. And then your reaction after, what is it gonna be?
I'm look up, and I'm in disbelief. All right, next side. Let's take a picture.
It was at that moment, I was ready to throw the worst first pitch in MLB history.
You're throwing out the first pitch tonight?
Yeah, I'm really nervous.
Don't bounce it.
So, what's the goal? Just to throw it over the plate?
Just so it looks decent enough to where I don't get memed. I think that's the biggest
Yeah,
thing.
you don't want to end up like Baba Booey from Howard Stern.
No, or 50 Cent.
Well, even Travis Kelce was terrible.
The next morning, I got a couple more practice throws in before heading to Progressive Field where team staff was awaiting us.
Boys, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Boys, I'm so nervous. People are like, no, it'll be fine. Don't worry, it'll go great. I'm like, no, you don't get it. That's the point. It's not supposed to go great. Oh, just get it over with. Come on.
At this point, I was nervous.
I'm so nervous.
And questioning the entire stunt. On one hand, I want this pitch to be so bad that if I took it to Shark Tank, Mark Cuban would reject it immediately. On the other hand, this is something I've dreamt of since I was a kid. Am I really gonna squander any other opportunity I'd ever have again to throw a first pitch? You're damn right I am.
Is making his fourth start of the 2023 season.
Let's do it.
Now approaching the rubber is Sir Yacht.
As I set my feet, I mentally reviewed the routine I've rehearsed countless times and perfected, over and over and over. I then took a deep breath, started my windup, and delivered the worst first pitch in MLB history. It was a success. My first pitch debacle got 3 million views on Twitter in less than 48 hours and reached numerous TV networks across the country.
We have seen some nightmare first pitches. Now look at this fan's attempt as he falls during the pitch.
Time now for big weekend flops or picks for the biggest fails of the week, and I'll go first. A TikTok star has the worst first pitch literally ever at a Cleveland Guardians game. Watch, is that LeBron James?
This is SportsCenter.
I paired his mechanics up with Tim Lincecum, and they are nearly identical.
Influencer Sir Yacht threw one of the worst first pitches ever last night in Cleveland. See the way his ankle kind of bent there? You can't fake that.
The secondhand embarrassment was so large you could probably see it on the Doppler radar surrounding Cleveland, Ohio. As much confusion and excitement as there was, it was met with just as much backlash and criticism. Things that I never actually thought would be said about this social hacking experiment.
Stick to basketball? Is that what you think? I'm sorry.
I was told by many that I ruined a very sacred part of baseball. A part so sacred that the MLB themselves posted the video onto their own social media and licensed the video out to several media conglomerates. I had set out what I had dreamed to do, get millions and millions of views on social media, make a fool of myself. Was it even worth it? It was so worth it, absolutely.